Hey everyone, and welcome to my first video on painting Wild West Exodus miniatures. There's not too many videos out there on how to paint these, so I thought I'd put together one just to give you a bit of inspiration, and if you're new to painting, hopefully just build up your confidence into painting these miniatures. I've started with the Ironhide. It's a heavy support vehicle and it's going towards my Golden Army posse. Now, the Golden Army, if you're not aware, they're a group of Mexican outlaws. The idea behind this kind of rusty effect that I've given it is that they've stolen it from another faction and haven't really well maintained it. Now, I mentioned I'm using the Warhammer paints, the Citadel paints. There are other paints out there that are fantastic. I've always used the Warhammer paints because it's convenient. I've got a store down the road, and they're just paints that I'm used to. If you don't have these paints, then just use similar ones. But yeah, hope you enjoy this video and hope it gives you a bit of inspiration into how to paint a big miniature like this, the Ironhide. So once I've assembled the miniature, I've sprayed it with a Chaos Black undercoat spray. I've then done a base coat of Rhinox hide, and this is just all over the miniature. I've then given it a wash with Narn oil, and this just gets into all the cracks and crevices and just gives it a bit more definition. I've then stippled on the Rhinox hide base coat again. This is just to bring out some of the colour, so it gives it a bit more definition. And I've stippled on Mornfang Brown, which is a lighter brown. I'm using a paintbrush. If you're not worried about destroying this paintbrush, then use a paintbrush. If not, you can use a sponge. I've then stippled on a lighter colour, Scrag Brown, and this is just to give that real rusty kind of orange effect. I've now selected different parts of the miniature to paint in Balthasar gold. All the gold parts that I just painted, I'm now washing with Agrax Earthshade, just to give a bit more definition to those areas. All those areas that I've now washed, I'm just going over with Balthasar Gold once again, just to brighten them up. Once I've finished all those gold parts, I'm now giving it a dry brush using Lead Belcher. This is going over the whole miniature, capturing the gold parts and also those rusty parts. Those wheels need brightening up a little bit. What better colour to brighten them up with than Abaddon Black? So I've just tidied up the wheels just to make them look nice. Now the guns need painting. I've used Lead Belcher once again, but rather than dry brushing, I'm just painting them on. Once that's dry, I've used non-oil, a wash again, just to darken down the metallic parts. Now I'm dry brushing all the black parts using Eshin Grey, just to give the wheels a bit more definition. There's a toolbox at the back, so I thought I'll paint it a nice red colour, just to kind of bring it out a bit and give the miniature a bit more colour. I've also decided to start painting the roses at the front. Now I've used Agrax Earthshade to just give the toolbox a wash. And I've also done this with the roses as well. So it's a little bit tricky for me to film, so I've just painted some of the detail on the roses, and then I've painted the stems just to make them look a bit more like roses. All those parts that have darkened down, I'm just going over with the same colour, Mephiston Red, just to brighten it up. To give the toolbox a bit of a metallic look, I've just given it a dry brush with lead belcher. Now to give those gold parts a bit of a kind of rustic look, I've given it a little bit of a coat of Nailac Oxide. This you just apply and then give it a wipe, either with a tissue or, in my case, your finger. Just smudge it around, and you don't have to be too heavy with this. I've lightened up the stems of the roses just using a lighter green. Now painting in all the windows, Celestra Grey, couldn't say that. All those windows I've now painted using Stone Blue, and this is just to give it more of a window look and also a bit of a glossy feel as well. Now very, very carefully I've painted all the little studs on the wheels lead belcher. And now on to painting that base. I've got a little tool to spread around Armageddon dust, which I've used here, and you want to cover the entire base. At this point, feel free to add your own scenery to the base. Using the same paint, Armageddon Dust, I'm just filling in a bit of the wheels. This is just to give it a bit more appearance that it's been riding through the desert for some time. Now we want to give the base a wash using Agrax Earthshade, and this just needs to go all over the base. What I've also done is painted the little rocks that I've applied there using Xandri Dust. And don't forget to give the wheels a wash as well. Once the wash is dry, you just want a dry brush, and I've used Tyrant Skull. You also notice that I accidentally put the camera up the wrong way here. Using the same paint and the same technique, but just with a smaller brush, just lightening up the dirt on those tyres. And we're almost done, so I just thought I'd put a bit more scenery on the base by adding a little bits of grass. I'm just neatening up the edges of that base using a Baden black. Just thought I'd brighten up those silver parts using Stormhost Silver, just giving it a little bit of a dry brush. There we are, the miniature is complete. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helped you.